In this video, I'm going to show you how we use first language lessons for the well-trained mind level 1. Hi everyone, I'm Michelle from A Common Life, and if you are new to my channel, I am the homeschooling mom of 5 children ages 3 through 11. And one book that we have loved using in our homeschool is First Language Lessons. Now this is level 1, and if you are someone who has read the Well-Trained Mind book, you've probably heard about this, or if you do classical homeschooling, you've definitely heard about this series. But this is a really great book, especially for kindergartner and first graders, to kind of just introduce them to language and form and grammar and things like that. So this is definitely a must-have in our homeschool. First Language Lessons for the Well-Trained Mind is written by Jessie Wise. And I'm just going to give you a quick little tour of the book. So this is level 1. And at the beginning, there is a nice table of contents and everything is laid out for you so you know what is going to be going on in the school year. There are a lot of lessons in this book, 100 lessons. Now the really nice thing about this is that if you are using Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons, you could actually kind of do them together and do one lesson in Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons and then do one lesson in this book, which would be really, really great. They go through and explain to you how to use this book, which is really, really helpful. And this book is designed for grade 1, but I use it with my kindergartner because we try to combine as much work as we can between our kindergartner and our first grader, and my kindergartner has done great with this and he's really enjoyed it. One of the things I love about this program is that every lesson is very simple and it's actually really quick, which if you have a little, 5-year-old or 6-year-old, it's hard to sit them down for a half hour and teach them a lesson about nouns. And so as you can see, lesson 1 is this short, and all it is introducing them to what a noun is. You basically just say to them, a noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. And then you ask them a question, and it literally scripts it out for you and makes it so easy. And then your children are just going to learn and repeat, and you're going to teach them from the very beginning of this book to always speak in complete sentences. Lesson 2 is a first introduction to a poem. So this is the caterpillar. And the way that I do this in my homeschool is I read it out loud to them several times, and then we will slowly work through it and memorize it. And I use hand motions. So we did the caterpillar. He was kind of like a little finger caterpillar. And Caterpillar in a Hurry, we had the caterpillar move really quickly. We had him take his walk on our arm. And we just had all of these little motions, which are not included in the book, but it was just something that we made up because it was a really fun way to help them memorize the poem. So that is a 4-day week worth of lessons. And then lesson 5 is a new week, and you're going to introduce the rabbit and the turtle, and you read the story out loud to them, and then you ask them some questions, which they answer, and you always encourage them to answer in a complete sentence. Then in the following week, they're looking at art. And so they're going to look at this and you're going to ask them questions about it and they're going to answer in complete sentences. And you always kind of pull things back to that concept of nouns, which is what they're learning right now. Then the next week they're going to learn about the lion and the mouse. And then they have another memorization work. And it keeps following the same format. You have something to learn that is a poem or something that you memorize. You read a story, you learn about art. Here's geography. There's all different kinds of things that they learn throughout this book, which is really excellent. It doesn't just focus on grammar or something like that. It ties it into everything that they're learning, which I really, really like. So I'm just going to go ahead and skip to the end to kind of show you how things change. So here we go. We have an oral composition, a story about me. And this is something that they are not required to write. They will tell you the story and they will illustrate their story, or they will write a sequel about it. And so rather than having them, write an entire story with sentences and paragraphs and things like that, they're just going to draw a picture and then they will orally tell you about that story. What we use alongside this is a little composition book that we use with Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. And we also use it with this workbook, or this book as well. And I just have them write out, I'm not going to really show you anything because in the beginning of the book they learn about their name and their address and things like that. So I'm not going to show you that here. But we just use the composition notebook and write down whatever we need to write down for that day. And that means I have everything for them for that grade combined in this one composition notebook. Because one lesson, you're basically only going to write about a line or two, so it doesn't take up a whole page. It's very nice and easy and simple for younger children. At the very end of the book, lesson 100 is actually an introduction to what is going to be in the next book in the first language lessons, which is the second level. And it begins with this poem called The Goops. And so they're going to have this in their mind. And when you open up, the next school year or whenever you start the next bit of curriculum, they will say, hey, I recognize that. We did that in our other book. And it's exciting for them. They enjoy that kind of thing. And then at the very last part of the book, there is a final grammar review. And once again, this is oral. So you just ask them the question and then they answer it. And it has everything scripted out here for you, which is so nice and convenient. And then if you have any questions, there's a glossary of terms and definitions. And this is very affordable. As you can see here, it is only $14.95. And this is a book, because you don't write in it or do anything, you can use it over and over and over again. I have used this with several of my children already, and I will definitely be using it with my youngest son as well. And because you don't really write anything in it, this is a book that you could actually resell very easily, because even though we've used it several times, it looks brand new. That is just a quick little tour of first language lessons for the Well-Trained Mind Level 1. If you enjoy videos like this, please let me know by clicking that like button and subscribing to my channel. If you have any questions, put them in the comments down below. Thanks for watching and have a great day.